The ballroom doors slam behind me. Music dies mid-beat, 100 eyes turn. My sister Beatrice stands under the crystal chandelier, her smile faltering as the champagne glass trembles in her hand. For a moment nobody breathes. Then she whispers, "What is he doing here?" loud enough for the microphones to catch it. I keep walking, each step echoes across the marble floor. The maitre d' rushes forward, flustered, murmuring about private events and guest lists. I don't argue, I just hand him the envelope, embossed official. He opens it, glances at me, then at Beatrice. His posture shifts. "Ma'am," he says quietly, "this gentleman owns the venue." The crowd murmurs, Beatrice's face drains of color. I smile, polite, unshakable. "Please," I say, "don't let me interrupt." "But I already have. The justice has begun. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. I need your help to run this journey, thank you." I wasn't always the man who walked into a room like he owned it, literally or otherwise. I'm Harold Bennett, 34, contractor turned property investor. I build things, fix things. And for most of my life, I was the family afterthought. Beatrice was the golden child, drama, scholarships, parties, gifts, attention. I was the kid who didn't apply himself. Mom once told me I should be proud just to be her brother. That line used to sting, now it just makes me laugh. Because pride isn't something anyone gives you, it's something you reclaim. The wedding talk started over Thanksgiving dinner. Beatrice's fiancé, Julian, bragged about their venue, a lakeside mansion straight out of a magazine. Everyone asked me if I'd be helping with renovations. Beatrice cut in fast. "Oh, Harold's busy with whatever he does." Laughter followed. I smiled, swallowed the ache, and let it pass. Weeks later, guests began posting save the dates. Everyone got one except me. Mom told me gently, "It's just complicated, dear. She wants a certain image." Translation: you don't fit. It wasn't the lack of invitation that broke me, it was what I overheard at a bar downtown. A friend of Beatrice's was laughing about how she'd told guests I wasn't invited because I'd embarrass her in front of Julian's family. They found it hilarious. I sat there, beer half drunk, hands shaking under the counter. That's the night I decided I wouldn't fight her, I'd outgrow her. But quietly, strategically. A few months later, my real estate contact mentioned a property, old estate on Silver Lake, heavily mortgaged, owners desperate to sell. The name made my pulse spike, Ridgewood Manor. Beatrice's venue. I asked questions like I didn't care while my mind raced. Within a week, I formed an LLC. Within a month, the papers were mine. On the deed, my name never appeared, just HB Holdings. Beatrice's dream venue now belonged to the brother she disinvited. Owning the place wasn't enough. I wanted the moment, that precise second when she'd realize. So I waited, I invested, repaired the roof, upgraded lighting, modernized the kitchen. Each hammer swing felt like reclaiming a piece of my dignity. When they signed the contract to rent the venue through my company, of course, Beatrice even bragged about getting a great deal. Oh, she got a deal all right. She just didn't read the fine print. Spring came, family dinners grew awkward. Beatrice flaunted her wedding plans while pretending I didn't exist. Dad told me, "Don't make a scene." I promised I wouldn't. Because the scene I had in mind wasn't one I needed to make, it would make itself. The invitation finally came to my parents, not me. I saw it on their fridge, gold trim, her smiling face. My name wasn't on it. I looked at it, nodded once, and went back to work. That night, I sent an email to the venue manager, confirming presence of the owner during event for inspection purposes. Simple, legal, perfectly justified. On the eve of her wedding, I stood in the empty ballroom, lights dim, air thick with polish and promise. Her decorations gleamed, her initials carved into the ice sculpture. And yet, it was my name on the deed. For a moment, I almost pitied her, almost. Then I remembered her words, "He'd embarrass me." I smiled, "We'll see who embarrasses whom." The next day, I arrived quietly, standing behind the caterers, watching. Beatrice floated down the aisle like royalty. Guests whispered about her beauty. Julian looked nervous, almost too nervous. Something between them had shifted. I didn't know yet, but it would matter later. When the priest said, "If anyone objects," I almost laughed. Not yet. After the ceremony, during the reception, Beatrice took the mic. She toasted to family, her voice sugary sweet. Even those who couldn't be here today, she said with a smug smile. People chuckled, thinking it was a joke. I tightened my grip on my glass, not in anger, just timing. As the band started playing, the maitre d' spotted me. He looked uneasy, like he'd seen a ghost. I showed him the papers quietly, professionally. He paled, nodded, and whispered something to the event coordinator. Word spread like wildfire, heads turned. Beatrice's perfect night started to crack. The song cut off mid-chorus as I stepped forward. Someone gasped, "That's her brother." Beatrice froze, jaw tight. "You have no right to be here." "Actually," I said softly, "I have every right." I handed her the envelope. She opened it, her hands shook. Inside was the document: deed, lease agreement, ownership disclosure. Her own signature at the bottom. I leaned closer. "Next time you rent a place, read who owns it." Silence fell, then a single laugh, Julian's father, realizing the irony. Beatrice's face crumpled. She tried to save face. "This doesn't matter, it's just paperwork." The venue manager stepped forward. "Actually, ma'am, it's legally binding. All further payments are directed to Mr. Bennett." The crowd murmured again. Julian's mother whispered, "He's the owner." Beatrice's voice cracked. "You planned this." "Yes," I said, "but you wrote the script." Julian pulled her aside, their whispers turned sharp. Then came the word that shattered the room: prenup. Apparently, she'd lied about finances, used wedding funds from his family for her business. Now under pressure, the truth spilled out. All I had to do was stand there. Julian's father called off the honeymoon sponsorship. Her bridesmaids avoided her eyes. Guests started filming, the irony too juicy to ignore. Beatrice's perfect image crumbled in real time. And through it all, I just watched, calm as the lake outside. When she finally came up to me, mascara streaking, she hissed, "You ruined everything." I met her gaze. "No, B, you did that when you decided I wasn't family." She raised her hand, then stopped. Because even she knew hitting me wouldn't change the truth. I turned to leave. Julian followed me. "Did you know about her lies?" he asked quietly. "I knew who she was," I replied. He nodded. "Thank you for showing me." Behind us, Beatrice's sobs echoed through the hall. By Monday, their wedding was trending locally, not for beauty but scandal. Sponsors pulled ads, her boutique lost investors. My business tripled in inquiries. Apparently, poetic justice is good marketing. Mom called crying, "Why didn't you tell us?" I said gently, "Would you have listened?" Silence, then a soft, "We should have." Sometimes regret comes too late. A few weeks later, I put the venue up for sale. Not out of spite, because I was done. Freedom means not needing to keep the trophies. But I did keep one thing: the guest book. Page 47, under family, my name finally written. Months later, I learned Julian annulled the marriage. Beatrice tried to reach out through mom, through email. I didn't respond. Some doors stay closed for a reason. One night I drove past Ridgewood Manor, the lights were off, the lake calm. I remembered the boy who once believed he wasn't enough. Now he owned peace, the rarest property of all. I stood by the water, watching the reflection of the stars ripple. For years I chased their approval. Now I didn't need it. Revenge wasn't about humiliation, it was about self-respect. And as I whispered to the night, sometimes silence is the loudest revenge, I knew I'd finally won. Drop your opinion about my story on the comment section below.